Hey guys, on this beautiful rainy day, here we are at the Edinburgh Church. We're visiting the castle today. And I tell you what, these streets and everything around me is stunning. The beauty, the stone, the artwork. It tells such an amazing story that's happening right here. And in the city is, I mean, we're in the UK, but the people are still feeling like it is still Scotland, and they're trying to keep that separation going. So let's learn more about what's going on with this castle. I'm so excited. The tour is just about to start. These are the history here, the statues that are right over there, and just the beauty of this city. It's just so amazing as we're going towards the castle area. Something about being in this city is that, you know, when you're here, you just really feel the history of just the enormity of faith that played in the lives of people. Guys, this is the view. Wow. Look at the architecture. It's amazing here. It's so beautiful. So imagine this castle can really guard you. Look, I mean, imagine trying to attack this castle. You're not going to get to the top. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. You know, when you're coming into places like this, it's just like super royal. Can you imagine people were actually doing this all the time? Like, this was a job for someone, and sometimes home for people, government home, military. Look, here's the entrance to the castle. It's just like amazing. Look at this doors. Could you imagine that thing falling on you? Like you're trying to get through and they're like, you're going, buddy. Yeah, that's not a good thing. But this is the entrance into another area that you'd have to breach to get into this place. This area here is, look at this view. Holy cow. This is where the cannons shoot out to. I don't think those buildings were there before. It's where the English and the Scottish were defending against each other, taking turns, taking over this stronghold. And truly, this is a stronghold. This place is like invincible. I mean, you can't really scale it very easily. There's just not many places to scale. It's just one windy road up through that narrow channel. Could you imagine, guys, that the soldiers had to haul these cannons up, and they had to haul them all the way up there? If you're looking at how sharp this area is, in order to get a hold of this stronghold, they had to lug these giant cannons up here to protect this stronghold. And if you can get up here, you're set militarily. This is really steep, guys. Like, you could slide down this here that we're climbing up. It's a really steep incline. So look how high we are. Look at Josiah. It's crazy. So this is like the second level of coming up. Look at this little narrow gate here. Yeah, crazy. This is like a giant swirl is the way this is designed. Holy cow, you imagine bringing these guns up here? This is huge. Look at that view, it just can shoot right out. It's always the one who's on top who has the advantage. And I think that's the same in everything. Whoever has the height has the dominion. want you to think about that. Guys, this cannon, they lugged this thing up those stairs.
It's warm in here.
Look at the size of this cannon. Holy cow. You can fit your whole body in here. Look at this. Oh my gosh. It's huge. Oh, your whole body can fit in here. It's actually kind of warm in here. Wow. This thing is amazing. Amazing. This is the oldest building in Edinburgh, and this is a chapel. A place where men of God prayed back in the day. Hundreds of years of faith. Now we're heading to the Great Hall, the place where King James IV held banquets and wonderful state events in this place, until he was killed by his brother-in-law, King Henry VIII, who later then turned it into military barracks. From dancing to war. Look at the armory here of how people fought back in the day. Look at these swords on the wall, the spears. This is the Great Hall. Look at the heavy armory that's here. Imagine wearing that when fighting. The Great Hall, military barracks. This is where the red coat soldiers replaced royalty when this hall became their home. The place was originally a very smelly, gross place, but the public actually wanted them to make this look a lot nicer, and it does. Look, and then this fireplace was put in much later. That's a nice fireplace. Guys, we are about to go see the honors of Scottish Crown Jewels.
Yeah, no cameras.
And they don't want any cameras in here, but this is where the jewels were given back by England. Back to the Scottish. Guys, we just saw the Royal Crown Jewels. They tried to price it at 3.5 billion, but really the value is, you can't value it. And why? Because it's a seat of authority that has been given in the land of the earth. And a seat of authority, and the price and the value of a seat of authority is huge. But you know, the Bible talks a lot about authority. Why do some have authority and some don't? You thought about that? And what is authority? Well, according to the Bible, we've been given the exousia, the authority, because Jesus was given the authority over heaven and earth. Actual authority. And if you think about it, the value that mankind values this kind of stuff. You know, and because of that crown and because of all that stuff, like, it has a power over all of this. And authority is very important. And so when you, as a believer, realize the authority that you have and that you carry within you as a Christian, because Jesus gives us a section of authority over the power of the enemy, it's a huge analogy that, for me, it's just blowing my mind right now. Guys, today I'm in Scotland, learning about all the wars that have happened here. That this city of Edinburgh has been fought over back and forth for many, many years. But for years, they've been fighting over that. They've been fighting over who's going to own all of this. And this castle here was the point that whoever had control of this castle had control of the city. So it was a fight for the castle. It was a fight for what's mine. And oftentimes, we can always feel the reason to justify why we should fight to get something. But what do ancient scriptures actually say about this? It's written, "Where do wars and fights come from among you? Do they not come from your desires for pleasure that war in your members? You lust and do not have. You murder and covet and cannot obtain. You fight and war, yet you do not have because you do not ask. You ask and do not receive because you ask amiss, that you may spend it on your pleasures. Adulterers and adulteresses, do you not know that friendship of the world is enmity with God? That whoever therefore wants to be a friend of the world makes himself an enemy of God. Do you think that the scripture says in vain, the Spirit who dwells in us yearns jealously? But he gives more grace. Therefore he says, God resists the proud, but gives grace to the humble." As I'm in this beautiful city and realizing how many times people fought, ultimately it came from what? It came from the desires of what's mine. When you even look at young children, this is the whole issue. Why do people, brothers and sisters or brothers and brothers, why are they fighting? Because they're saying, that's mine. This is where it comes from, is for the desire and the lust that lives within us. And the truth is, as long as you're going to have two humans alive, there's always the potential for war because of that lust that's from within. So what does Scripture advise us to do? King David said it best. "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. I shall not be in lack." Meaning, I understand that I have what I need from God, and I don't need to go do anything wrong to go get it. I don't need to murder. I don't need to steal. I don't need to get stuff in a wrong way. Rather, I need to trust in the Lord, because every good and perfect gift comes from God above. When we have that firm understanding, there can be peace. But without that, there's always going to be a war.